and say welcome to the June edition of the Master Gardener Program Coordinator meeting. Thanks everybody for being here. I think we have some fun stuff to share today. And we're focusing, we have some announcements and then talk about infrastructure for a little bit. And then back onto that, telling our story and program evaluation, quality resources. We have a couple things there. And then diversity, equity, and inclusion team will talk about the updated Master Gardener application. So first, I want to remind you that it's recognition time again. Last month, I reminded you that, or I actually told you that the application or the nomination forms were due by July 1st for Ed Lacrosse Media and Volunteer of the Year. The awards committee recently extended that deadline to August 1st. I guess they didn't have very many applications and we're worried about, or not applications, sorry, nominations, and we're worried about getting those. So please take some time to nominate volunteers from your respective counties. Work with volunteers in your respective counties to nominate well-deserving volunteers for either Ed Lacrosse Media or Volunteer of the Year. I'll mention that last year a county nominated a pair for a singular award, and the committee did not accept that. So just nominate a singular person, please. The Master Gardener Foundation of Washington State also sponsors our Presidential Service Awards. Last month, I asked you to go into Teams and look at the list of volunteers that I pulled out of GivePulse who have met the 500-hour mark for 2023. Confirm that list and add the county name in. I think a couple of you have done that. The deadline to do that was yesterday. But I'm not going to do anything with it until July 1st. So please get into that link on Teams and confirm the 500-hour service winners. And then if you have any volunteers who met the 4,000-hour lifetime mark, please add those folks as well to that spreadsheet. Question in the chat, how do we nominate somebody? The nomination forms are on our website, both the state program website and the state foundation website. Debbie, would you mind putting links in the chat to those?
Yeah, I'm working on that right now.
I figured you probably were. Thank you. All right. And then in-person meeting is right around the corner. So July 17th and 18th in Ellensburg. It seems that we'll have about 30 people in attendance. We are having dinner on the 17th at Ellensburg Pasta Company. Thanks to Patty in Yakima Kittitas for helping get this whole meeting organized for us. So she has reserved the back room at Ellensburg Pasta Company. And we need to know if you require a gluten-free meal. And if you require a gluten-free meal, please let Patty know either in the chat box or, you know, via email or something like that. If we have enough of us that need the gluten-free, then we'll have an option that everybody can choose from, or we will simply just have that gluten-free meal for the couple of you who require that if needed. July 18th, it will be breakfast on your own. I've been told that there's a nice cafe right next to the hotel. So you can just walk to that and grab your coffee and your treat, breakfast treat. And then we will provide a box lunch. So far on the agenda, we're going to do some work around with the strategic plan, talk about the context, the history of it. We're going to do some diversity, equity, inclusion work, tips for creating a positive and welcoming environment for all volunteers. And we'll have some discussion around quality resources, specifically around continuing education, and with the purpose of me and the rest of you really understanding what you as coordinators and volunteers need to be able to effectively manage CE in your counties. And we'll also talk about some of the basic training things that Bryce and the team has been working on. So he'll cover some things there and get your input. We'll spend some time on telling our story, digging in deeper to program evaluation for impact and public value. And there'll be a bit around infrastructure and the MS 365 SharePoint adoption. There is a little bit more time if you have other ideas that you'd like us to talk about during this face-to-face meeting. And there's going to be lots of time for interaction as well, small group work and things like that. But if there's any other things you would like to have on the agenda, please let me know. Okay. So infrastructure, as you know, WSU is working on updating the websites across the state. The first site that was updated onto the new technology, the Gutenberg editor, was our statewide WSU Master Gardeners program site. It's been a huge hit, huge success, much thanks to the team for that, Debbie Bembo, Mike Prano, and Craig Lawrence. And since then, I've been working with the Connors Communications, web development people, and Vicki McCracken and others on updating the WSU extension site. During those conversations, we were trying to figure out how our Master Gardener program and 4-H programs and those programs were going to fit into the county sites and still talk to up and down the state sites so that everything has the same look and feel for our branding purposes. And I hope we all know that our vision for our program is to be fully supported, highly recognized, and a go-to resource for communities seeking innovative solutions to their ever-changing needs. And I think I know to see that vision come to fruition, we have to be loud and proud through our brand and through who we are, what we do, and why we do it. And so now I'm super excited to share with you that same team that did our statewide Master Gardener site, Mike Prano, Debbie Bembo, and Craig Lawrence, have been working with WSU Connors, Sarah Schaub, and a little bit with me, but not much, to create templated pages for your county Master Gardener program sites. These are pages that will make it way, way easier for you to migrate or create your new Master Gardener site on your county extension website. So these are templated sites with specific pieces in them that can't be changed, but there's lots and lots of space where it can be changed, where you can customize it specifically to your county. And now I'd like to introduce Mike Pirano. He's here today, and he's going to walk you through these pages and show you what is in store to support our vision of being, highly recognized, fully supported, and the go-to resource. Mike.
Thank you, Jennifer. There we go. So, hi, everybody. Like, give me 1 sec to grab the screen, and we're going to dive in. I'm not gonna do a lot more setup than Jennifer already did for you. I'm just gonna go. So when sorry. So when Jennifer talked about template, the first county to implement the extension office template that I know about was Island County. So this is it. This is what it looks like out in the wild. Okay, not talking about Master Gardener. I'm talking about the entire extension office, right? So there's a home page and then all your programs, right? And you scroll down and they give a second access point, 4-H, Master Gardener here, right? Upcoming events, featured events, videos, and news. That's the homepage to that site. What Debbie, Craig, and I did said, we sat down and said, look, when you click that button, could we take the same approach to the way the Connors developed the template and apply that approach to the Master Gardeners program? And we, on Monday, shipped that over to Connors for testing. Should be approved any day here. What I'm going to do is give you just a little demo of that site. So again, you clicked on that button, Master Gardeners now. This is where you will come. So welcome. We got the Spirit Mark in here, your county program name, and then similar structure, featured events with events listing. We co-opted same kind of approach here. But instead of calling them programs like we historically have done, we kind of, because you're already the Master Gardener program or the 4-H program, so we moved it over to educational outreach because that's what these programs do, and it's a focus point. So now you have a standardized way into each of our educational outreach. Switch it from WSU in the news to did a poll of just Master Gardeners in the news and some feature video content. So homepage structured very similar. You guys are all used to having a menu like this, but since in the template site, since you'll be in the extension office, they've reserved this real estate for the menu. So we use Craig Smart's working with Sarah and Efren, and we came up with an alternate menu structure to be able to navigate the site. And so this is what it'll look like on every page. And what I'm going to just quickly walk you through, the meat of the site is right here in the educational outreach. I'm going to skip over that first and do the other ones, and then we'll come back and do that, a little bit of that at the end. Okay. So homepage kind of made for you, if you will. About page, and Jennifer alluded to this. So part of the challenge is you want to have, we got counties that are over 2 million in population and others that are under 20,000 in population. How do you, given the different resources, how do you have a consistent message, but still leverage the fact that we're local and that, local and know our local communities? So we opted for a structure like this, where we gave you what we're calling template tips. And these are areas where you can substitute in your own writing, if you will. And so you'd first lead off about your county. But for this page, and if you want to do more, you can write more in the paragraph, but you don't have to. Fit that in there. But from this place on down, our mission, vision, values, and our priorities, those are the same statewide. So we basically bolted those in for you. And I'll quickly, a little tech piece for those of you who care. I'm going to go to the editing that page. And what you'll see when you see that block, you just see a number here, number here, number here. What that means is it's called a snippet, and it was built up at the state program site. And every time this page renders, it pulls whatever it says up there. So the advantage is if you decide to update your mission, you only have to change it once, and all 39 counties instantly. You don't have to, no exercise in the counties. You guys are out of that business of updating to try and get everybody consistent. You change it once and it ripples throughout the state. So consistent message across the state with minimal effort on your part, but ability to provide emphasis on your county, okay? Similar, so I'm gonna jump over educational, we're gonna go to gardening resources. Similar approach there. Place where you can talk about your county. And then on the state side, there's a lot of resources, and same thing, we use the snippets to bolt those in. But some counties have their own county resources, so we provided you a section here where you can bolt in your own resources, and if you got more than 3, you can copy and paste it down and go to 6, whatever you want there. So you have your local county resources, and then you have your statewide resources all available. So again, even if you're a small county, you're gonna have a fairly robust resources section, even if you don't do any work on it yourself, okay?
Hey, Mike, will you do me a quick favor and scroll down on this page? And this will make sense later. Keep scrolling, one more. So where it says, keep going, I don't see it yet. Okay, right there, urban and community tree stewardship training. Keep that in the back pocket until we talk later. Okay, thank you.
Okay, yep. But it does bring up another point here. So the other advantage of doing this, I was thinking in the horse sense, you know, we have good resources at state, but if they're not in all counties, you kind of have to know to go to the state site to find it. What we've now done is multiply that by 40, right? So there's more touch points to quality resources that have always existed, so more people can find them. Join us, a little bit different treatment there, because you guys all have different rules and regs of how to sign up. So on this part is bolted in from pre-approved brochures. But over here, what we try to do is we supplied you with that kind of fill in the blank for your county name. But same thing, if this doesn't conform to the way you guys do it in your county, you just, you know, copy and paste your wording in here and update it. So same thing for internship and the commitment. Okay. Oh, and one other, so a little fun on that. And then contact us. We built contact pages for you. And this is the one for getting your name on the list to become a master gardener. I'll talk more about, I got one more place to talk about. Well, the point being, a lot of sites have the rules of stuff you have to worry about on this page. And then when you go to the contact page, it's blank. We thought it'd be more beneficial to put right at the left-hand side what you need to know when you're filling out the stuff here. So we think you get a higher quality input in your contact forms. So let me go back. Oops, sorry. Did join us. We're at the contact us. You do have a volunteer portal. We mostly focused on communicating with the public, but we did wire in a format that you can change if you'd like. But we did put in kind of state site locations that would be beneficial, but the other stuff is kind of up to you to organize how you see fit. All right. So that's the first pass through. I said educational outreach is kind of the meat of the site. And again, everybody, different size counties, different approaches to some of this. So what we did is we created this summary page of educational outreach with just 1 paragraph descriptions of the most common programs. And for smaller counties, you may not have a plant sale or you may not have a youth gardening program. All you have to do is delete that block and the rest of the page, you know, just scrolls up and the rest of the page hangs together. But it's a standardized way to represent all these programs, okay? And then so somebody go along at the top level said, I want to learn about your educational outreach. The thinking is they come in and learn a little bit more and say, oh, well, that Ask a Master Gardener thing is kind of interesting. Let me learn more. And now it clicks down onto this specific page. For you guys implementing the website, if you think about it, to this point, we've mostly restricted it to just a paragraph at the top of each page to get going. This is where the bulk of the work would be for implementing. But again, we've tried to supply you with as much information as we can. So we got the gardening by email and clinics. We've already supplied you with a submission form with the same treatment of here's a typical things you need to put on the submission form if you're going to submit by email. And then, but if it clinics, we also provided a format for you where you can talk at the top is yours. And then we just gave layouts of, if you have a lot of clinics, the thinking being, you replace the photo with actual clinic photos and fill in the address. And if you want, you could create a venue page, which would provide a Google map to that location. And again, we supplied you with 6, but you just copy the rows down if you need more than 6. Standard thing we always put at the bottom of every page was a frequently asked questions that you can try and give as many answers as you want. Again, optional. If you don't want to have that in, you can take it out. I think that is, so we did the same approach for demo gardens. Oh, for those of you, King County's got like 13 demo gardens. So that was too much to give too much detail. So we created a mini demo gardens page. But like I'm in Pierce, we just have 2 in the Pierce treatment. You give a little bit more detail where you have like highlights of the garden with a little carousel in there where you can take pictures and supply that. And for 2, it's not too much work to just copy this down and do it twice and give more detail in the garden. So again, that would be your choice.
Okay.
And when you implement, all you do is if you pick which one you want, you delete the other page and you're good to go. Trying to think if there's any other highlights I want to hit. I think that is it. I think I'm within my 15 minutes. What I'll do now is first, Debbie or Craig, did I miss any, or Jennifer, did I miss anything you wanted me to hit?
I don't think so. A couple questions in the chat.
Okay.
Debbie, is there anything you want to add before we go to questions?
No,
Okay. So will we be able to add a link to our local password protected MG only page?
So, trick question. What you will be doing is you'll be taking your MG only page and moving it into what we've termed the volunteer portal. If you want to rename it MG only, but of my understanding that Connors is taking down the old site. So the old site, after when you move over, the old site won't exist. So you can't keep stuff in your old site. You're going to have to move it over. That makes sense? But anything that's in that thing, anything that's in your MG page would just go here. And we tried to give you a generalized enough approach so that you could pour all that information into this location.
And you will password protect that.
And you can password protect that.
Oh, hi, Craig. I didn't realize you were on.
He's there.
Thanks.
Low profile.
Any other questions?
Yep. So, how's this going to work on mobile devices?
Good. How's that for good? Part of the development environment, it gets into technical stuff, but they built this around with blocks. And so it's smart enough that as the device narrows, what it does is it takes these blocks and drops them down in serial fashion. So and you can, when you're building the site, there on the test side, you could see what it looks like on a mobile device. And so if you don't like the way it looks, you can move it around to improve the look and feel. But this was designed, the whole block architecture is designed realizing that with narrower devices, things will just drop down and fit in better.
Great. I noticed we're on WordPress. Oh, sorry, things got, that means that the form is run through Gravity Forms, correct?
That is correct.
Oh, okay.
So a note on just, I'm gonna stop sharing. So a note on this. So everybody right now is on an older version of WordPress. This is just moving to the new version. Now I'm one of these ones, I never knew what the old version was like, but now that I'm getting on Pierce, I can kind of get peeks at it. The biggest difference is, at least from my superficial view, is how you handle words and pictures and the page layout. But the creating forms, creating events, things like that look to me to be very, very, it's the same tech updated, but it doesn't even look like there's that much of a change. The big change was kind of that page I showed you where you now do lay out blocks of text and pictures together. And what I was looking at on the Pierce site is it kind of was more on you to figure out how to balance the page, and the system does it for you now a lot better. I've got that. I guess I can look at the questions myself now.
Just lots of kudos, life-changing. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so great.
I have a couple questions that are really kind of nitpicky, but I thought I should ask them for the larger group.
Hopefully.
So my first question is, I saw you had the great contact page. Where would those messages go? Are those going directly to like program coordinators? Are they going?
The way you set up the contact, there's choices behind it, and then there's a separate page where you direct what email you want it to go to. So you
Great.
can have it to go to an individual. We kind of recommend that you always have it go to at least 2 people, so you got a backup. But the individual, for spamming reasons, the individual's protected who it goes to. So you got this kind of one layer in between, but the system generates a message to whoever you decide the email should go to.
Great. Thank you for that
Yep.
clarification. One more question. So I know that we're required to put civil rights statements on everything we do, including our website. And so I was just curious how you might be building this into the system at the top level.
And that we are, number one, snippets, that snippet technology that I showed you, where it's just a number. So the civil rights statement would be statement number 1093.
Okay.
You just place it in. What we have done intentionally, since we're a template inside of the county template, we're trusting that anything that applies to all extension will be put into the county template, which goes on every single page. So it'll either show up in the footer, in the header or the footer, and it'll be on every page.
Once you go brush your teeth, please.
Okay, great. And then one more question, sorry. So what about doing multiple languages here? Have we thought about that? Is that something we might tackle here? Just curious.
Yeah, I honestly haven't thought about it. Sorry.
Nope, just putting it out there. Not a big
Yep.
deal. Just thought I'd ask. I
Yep.
appreciate everything you've done. It's amazing. So thank you so much.
Thank you. There was one where somebody, Okanagan, tried to. Yes. Anybody?
There
Alex, you're muted.
I have a quick question. And you know, I'm not super techie, so this may be obvious to everyone else, but how does the volunteer portal relate to the Office 365 project?
Mhm.
It's actually a really, really good question with very subtle answers to my understanding. And actually, Craig, you're out there, buddy. I defer all technical stuff to Craig. Can you weigh in on that, sir?
Well, right now, the Office 365 project isn't related to the volunteer portal. Volunteer portal is just basically a place, a rename of what counties are doing now for their MG only pages. So, you know, that's something that maybe we can talk about in our MS 365 team discussions, but we're at this point, I don't think we're linking the two.
Okay, I didn't know that. All right. Anybody else? Others?
How will a list of links to pre-recorded lectures translate?
I don't, that is, a link, so you can handle a link just like you do today if you want, or you can attach a picture to it. Me personally, for presentation purposes, I take a screenshot of the lecture, the homepage of the lecture, and then have that on it, and then attach the link to the picture so they can give a quick synopsis. So you can do it that way. Or if you just want to type in text and then attach a link to the text, you can do that either way. Very similar to current WordPress, I believe.
Thank you for that. Yeah, that's my question. Currently, the Clallam County Master Gardeners have well, we've recorded a bunch of our presentations starting back in the pandemic, and that's just become our standard operating procedure now. So we have been able to offer those talks out to the community to access them asynchronously, and had garden clubs show them, and then they email me back and said, oh, we watched this and there are these many people, and I'm like, great, I'm just adding that to my outreach numbers. And yeah, it's a lot. So I put the link in the chat there. We have probably 30,
I
25
think
-ish.
that's kind of a common thing. A lot of
Yeah.
counties do that. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I
So-
don't know. That would be a lot. That would be a really big web page
So-
if I was gonna screenshot every single one of those. And I choose to do it this way rather. It, it's been working for us thus far, but I'm open to exploring what the next version of this looks like, or maybe we just move away from this, or I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Real
Harmony, you
quick,
can,
if you,
and you,
I want to avoid getting into the how
Okay.
to handle specific things right now,
it's easy.
just for
say
the
it's
sake
easy.
of time.
yeah, so I will do one,
Yeah.
and just because it hit. There is a format that exists someplace else, because you guys, some of you know, I also do climate change. We have this kind of format for a library. And so if that works for you, you can look it up. It's on the state website. If that works for you, we could easily copy that across and add it into the suite.
Mhm.
But like,
Okay.
that's an individual, we'll deal with it later. But you gave me a climate change shot. I couldn't resist. So.
Okay, next question and last question on this is how do we get access to the templates?
That's Lauren. Thank you. That's the perfect transition. So,
Yep.
as I said at the outset, we've got it done. We handed it over to Connors for final testing, and the Connors folks will kind of take it from here. So you go through the way you do for getting a new, there is a website that I will copy the link in. That's how do you get ready? And you click on that link, and that plugs you into Sarah and Efren and their folks, so that you can get started. And it's basically ready today. The one question I asked Sarah about it, and there's, for you as an extension office, you got to deal with 4-H, Master Gardener, you have others. And the question I had was, you have to wait till everybody is ready, or if you're just Master Gardener and you're ready to go, can you get started and do it in kind of serial fashion? Sarah said she was okay with doing it in serial fashion, just as long as you know you can't publish that site until everybody's done. But so you take that link that I sent to you, contact Sarah, and get in line and get going.
Okay, thank you, Mike. I think this is going to be
Thank you.
hugely popular. And it wouldn't surprise me if other programs want to get on board. Okay, so I'm gonna, for the sake of time, there's a couple more things I want to make sure we get through this time. And then Debbie will come back to the program evaluation stuff. But I want to get through this for everybody since training is right around the corner. Few updates here. I want to remind you that starting now, training has increased from $75 this for online training to $85. The registration software that AOI has been using has changed from Cvent to Stova. So the registration link has also changed. So make sure you have the correct link when you are telling people to register for training. And I'll show you where to get that. Remind you that flash drives are a thing of the past. We are not sending out flash drives anymore. Those can be, the course can be downloaded, and people can get to it that way if they don't have good internet connection. The flash drives became too expensive and too difficult to manage. And they didn't work half the time. I need to know your plan for training by July 15th. And you can enter this information into our Teams page, and I'll send you in my in the e-news, I'll send you a link as well. So I need to know what your training schedule is going to be. Are you training in the fall? Are you training in January, which is the AY, January to April? Or are you on rolling enrollment? I need to have an idea of your student count, just an estimate. It doesn't need to be exact. And then I need to know who your instructors are going to be. Up to 2, including yourself. I'll show you here in a second where you can put that in there. And then I've updated the registration, login, and troubleshooting handout. So that's there too. And then the application, we've done a number of changes on the application, and we'll talk about that through the DEI group. But I want to show you, can you guys see my Teams page? Thank you. So in the Master Gardener training channel, this green folder has the updated information. So this is the basic training schedule. I know you're looking at the side of my face. Sorry about that. This is all last year's information. So if it's staying the same, great. If not, please make your changes. In this column, tell me about how many students. In this column, tell me what your training period is going to be. These down here explain the training periods. And then put in your email and any additional instructors up to 2. And then please check to make sure that your mailing address is correct.
Jennifer,
Uh-huh.
is additional instructors, are those people that have Canvas access or?
Yes.
Okay. Thank
Sorry. Yep. Good question. So then this fact sheet, we publish this little fact sheet every year. Where is it? Registration, login, and troubleshooting. This is where you can find your registration link. This is the link right here. This is where you send new volunteers to register for Canvas. And then instructions for logging into Canvas. And then troubleshooting tips for folks who cannot get into Canvas. And then down here is the course availability dates. Okay, you're seeing my PowerPoint again, right? Terrific. All right. Another quality resource thing we want to bring to your attention is the Urban and Community Tree Stewards online course. And I actually had Mike show it to you during his presentation. And I'm going to turn the floor over to Tim just for a second so he can remind you about this and encourage you to help promote it for us. Tim.
All right. Thank you, Jennifer. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. So we've had a lot of new coordinators come on board since this was first released years and years ago. And so if I apologize if this is a repeat to some of you, but it's hopefully new information and hopefully useful. So the Urban and Community Tree Stewardship online course was created with a grant from the Washington Department of Natural Resources and faculty from WSU. And it's all been peer reviewed. So it's something that our Master Gardeners can take for continuing education. So our veteran Master Gardeners, if they need continuing ed, then they can take this course. There is a cost for it in order to maintain this on global campus. But the fundamentals of the course are that we have a lot of people who are interested in trees, interested in advocating for trees in their communities. And so this is an introduction to tree stewardship, whether it's for someone like a Master Gardener who's giving out research-based information, or someone who maybe is starting in the commercial industry and wants some of the science behind why they take care of trees the way they do. It's also for people who are in a lot of towns. If you're a Tree City USA, through the Arbor Day Foundation, you have to have a tree advisory board for your tree management program, and that might be complicated. Don't worry about that, except that those tree management boards are usually made up of volunteers, and they have a lot of passion and they really want to advocate for trees, but they don't always have the management knowledge and the science behind why sometimes taking out a tree is the best thing for the community. And so this online course is for all sorts of people. Anybody can take it, but those are the three audiences that we had in mind when we created this. So there are 6 modules. This is asynchronous, meaning volunteers can start at any time. It's all online. And as coordinators, you don't have to interact with it the way you do when trainees are taking the Canvas course or our Master Gardener training classes on Canvas. This is on Canvas, but it's designed to be low or no interaction with instructors. So a volunteer signs up, they get a code to enter the course space, and then they go through the modules one by one. There's a quiz at the end of each module, and the modules are basically different topics about about tree care. So at the end of each module, the student takes it's a fairly simple test, just to make sure that they got some of the key messages out of the modules, the education, and then that unlocks the next module for them to take. At the end of that, when they get through all 6 modules, we ask them to find an in-person event somewhere close to them where they can meet up with other people who are interested in trees and take a tree training. So it might be a Master Gardener class on pruning. It might be ISA, International Society of Arboriculture, training for commercial arborists that is also open to the public. We try, as long as it's got a science component to it, that we know it's going to be, they're going to get good information, research-based information. We try to accept as a wide variety of those face-to-face trainings as possible. I try to post the face-to-face trainings in the course space. So once a month, I will try to go through and add any programs that I can find to that course space so they have something to look at. But also I encourage the students to, if there's something in their area and they want to try, if they want to take that, send me information about that course and I can tell them if it counts for credit. Once they've completed the 6 online modules and done the face-to-face training and sent proof to me that they attended, then I send them a certificate of completion, and now they're a tree steward, a WSU tree steward. There's no follow-up requirement. There's no volunteer hours that come afterwards. It's just a certificate that says, yes, I completed this training. Like I said, there is a cost, but for Master Gardeners, we do have a discount. So the cost of the course is $150. But if Master Gardeners enter a code, and I'll put that into the chat in a minute, if they enter a code, it's only $100. So 33% off for Master Gardeners. And I think that covers the basics of this
Thank you, Tim.
stewardship.
Yeah.
Some of you will have the old link to the tree stewardship module. In other words, Jennifer just told us that we moved the Master Gardener training from CVent to STOVA. We also moved this training from CVent to STOVA. So the state Master Gardener webpage is updated. I've updated it on a flyer that I can send out to people so that they can click on it and we'll take them to the new registration. But you may have volunteers who try to take this and they get to a dead end because not all of the places where this registration link appears online have been updated. And so just something to be aware of. And I see a question in the chat. If coordinators want to take this course, do we have to pay the fee as well? I wish there was a way I could give it to you for free. I don't know of a way to do that right now because we're paying Global Campus to host this course space. And so it's not, I don't get to choose whether we have free registration or not. So I'm sorry about that. I wish all coordinators could take this and then go out and save trees or plant more trees or something.
I
but
do think it's appropriate to use your operations accounts though.
Yeah, actually, thank
Yeah.
you, Jennifer. That's
Yeah.
great.
That was a
I
follow-up
will.
question, Jennifer. I
Yes.
thought we couldn't, that Wazoo couldn't pay Wazoo, right? So I thought we couldn't use Wazoo funds to pay for anything from Wazoo. Is that not correct?
You can't, we can't use our P cards, but we could do it through IRI. You just can't use your P card. You can pay for it with your own card and then get reimbursed or something. Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm putting the,
Jennifer, this is Jana. You may also be able to pay for that using an IRI, transferring money from your workshop account
Yeah.
to Global, so you can check on that with the business
Yeah.
office.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. I think I said that. Did I pretend? Okay. I can't remember whether I said that or not. Okay, thanks, Jana.
I put the registration link in the chat in case anybody's interested in copying that. And then I'm gonna put the discount code also. And when people enter the discount code, it's just WSUMG100. There's no, they don't have to underline, but and there it is. There's
Yep.
the
I was
space.
making
to-
sure it was gonna come up because part of it's not highlighted, so it did.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
So that's what I have. And I will turn it over to Jennifer.
Thanks, Tim. All right, professional development, coordinator conference. There's a few of us going, looking forward to being down in New Mexico. And then reminder that the Advanced Education Conference, early bird closes on June 30. So please help us spread the word and encourage Master Gardeners from your counties to attend. And then let's see how much
Quickie
time we have
question,
left.
do you know how many have already been sold?
Debbie, 130,
180.
180.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing good. All right. Now, last month we talked about the basic training application and the fact that the DEI team was working on developing it in a way that supports recruiting and training a diverse applicant pool. We walked you through the steps that the team was taking to make the changes to the application. And I'm happy to say the application is now uploaded into Teams in a Word document, in a PDF document, and in a fillable PDF. And Tessa, did you want to walk through the changes or do you want me to do that?
You can go through it, that's fine.
Okay.
Either way.
Okay. So Tessa, this team is Tessa, Sarah, Mary, Bryce, Harmony. Did I get everybody?
Yeah, I think that's everyone.
Okay. Jana and I reviewed this. We took it to, showed it to a couple others at WSU as well to make sure we were good to go. But summary of the changes, and remember that this we removed, we did this with the purpose of we didn't want to use jargon. We wanted to use very straightforward language. We wanted to remove questions that we don't, as coordinators, necessarily use to make our selections. And we wanted to really give our audience or the applicants an opportunity to tell us about who they are. So we removed the times that the applicant is available from the application. We added preferred pronouns to the application with the option of including those pronouns on the name badge. And that's, it's a question that it's not a required question. People don't have to answer it if they don't want to. We removed the training and education completed section, the high school training or the college level or the trade school. We changed the gardening experience question to include, tell us about your gardening experiences, including your education, your training, your home gardening. And we ask why gardening is of interest to that person if they're new to gardening. We removed the years of horticulture or gardening experience. We changed horticulture interests. And if for some of you who have been around a while, it used to say, check your horticulture expertise and then listed a number of topics. So we changed that question up. And so now it reads, what are you most excited to learn more about? And lists all those topics. We changed the volunteer experience question to share experiences where you have used your time to help others or a cause. The word volunteer is still a part of the question, but we have learned through our DEI research and experiences that not all cultures understand the word volunteer. So we were trying to get at a way for people to tell us about how they use their time and to help others. And then we added to the why do you wish to become a volunteer question, and it now includes what do you hope to contribute or gain. So we're hoping that so this application is approved. It's up on our team site now. It's in that 2024-2025 folder. I encourage you to pull that down and use that for your 2025 training or fall 2024 training if it's not too late. Tessa, Mary, Sarah, any other thoughts there?
I just wanted to add in that we also added that DEI statement on the application. And then with folks who use the optional approved questions list,
oh, thank you.
There are no longer questions you can remove, but there are still plenty that you can add if you want them. And then one of the biggest things that Jennifer found out for us was that if you are a county that doesn't have time to call references, you can request letters of reference be included in the application for you to review. Yeah, those are just the extra things I wanted to add in.
And Jennifer, I'd also add the change to the photo release statement.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did you say that already?
I didn't. Yeah. So it's now it just the way that it reads, it doesn't ask a yes or a no. It just says you will as a participant in these programs, your image is, you give permission for your image. And then there is a spot where if you absolutely do not want it, then you can say no, but then it's the responsibility of them to stay out of the way of the camera. Makes it easier for us.
And I wanted to say, being part of this team, I'm very proud of the work they did. There was a real tension between, we find that the people who are the most committed in the program are people who come in wanting to volunteer. And at the same time, conveying the idea of volunteering to communities that may not have a strong volunteer, a strong concept of volunteering was a lot of work went into finding the right way to say that so that people would understand from the application what the expectations were and be able to help to determine if they themselves felt like this was the right fit for them.
I'm pleased that we went through this process. I'm also very proud of what we were able to accomplish and look forward to hearing feedback from all of you using the application in the field. All right. All right. So let's see. We had one more piece and Debbie, we're out of time. but I want to make sure that you have the right amount of time to, oops, it's this one right here. So I think we can talk about this in July at our in-person meeting too. But I want you to know that we're hearing feedback on the survey process and that you're really wanting to be able to add in your own questions. And so Debbie has created a way to help you, show you how to do that, or created a way for you to do that. And she was going to show you how to do that today. And so I want you to know we're hearing you and we're working that through, and we'll get to that. But I want to make sure that we have plenty of time to have that conversation. And as you can see by the clock, we don't have time for that today. Does that work, Debbie? If we can, or I think sound good to you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I could show just the real basics of it real quick, maybe within about 5 minutes. And then plan on a separate training for those that
Okay,
have more.
sure. If people
You
want
wanna
to
do
stay
that?
on, that'd be great. Let me, one more announcement then for people who need to leave, so we're not, I'm gonna go back. Oops, too far. So the August meeting, I changed the date of the August meeting from the 28th, which is the fourth Wednesday, to the 21st, the third Wednesday. Couple of reasons. One was because the fourth Wednesday, those of us going to Santa Fe are going to be in Santa Fe. So I won't be here to facilitate that meeting. The second reason is the third Wednesday is the day before Staying Mission Driven, which is the fourth Thursday. And I want to make sure that we have an opportunity to come together before Staying Mission Driven. So I sent out that announcement to your calendars earlier today, and it seemed like some of you got a cancellation notice. The meeting is not canceled. It just changed to the 21st.
Jennifer,
Uh-huh.
I got both an invitation and a cancellation, but looking at my calendar, the invitation didn't put anything on my calendar for the 21st.
Oh boy.
So maybe if you can resend.
Okay.
This is for the program coordinator meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I accepted them in the correct order even, and I still don't have anything on the 21st.
Okay, I think it's because that calendar invite is when we were using MG Chords or Connors, the Connors MG Chords one, and now we're not. We're using the WSU listserv. So please mark your calendars. I'll do my best to get it on there for you, but please mark your calendars for the 21st from 1 to 2. Okay, Debbie.
Okay, I'll share my screen and do this quick. Okay, so in Qualtrics, there is a library that you can go to. And the way you get to it is with the menu up here. Go to library. And you will see all of the blocks and the surveys and some graphics in the library that's available to you. So to create a survey and then customize it, what you want to do, you don't create it from the library. You have to go to catalog. And once this screen comes, you click on survey. And then get started. Name your project. And then you're going to, let's see, this is where you're going to put it into your own folders. So if you have folders set up, you can choose one of those. And then where you want to start your survey. So this is where you go out to the library and grab it. So I'm going to use a survey from the library, select a library, which is the Master Gardeners. And in this case, I will grab local food. Yep. and create my project. Okay. So then if you want to change something or add new blocks, you can either, just add your own, or you can import from a library. So you're able to import from library, go down to, say, local food, and there are some other blocks in here. So if I click on that, that's going to add that entire block, which I'll just go ahead and do that. And it always puts it at the end, so you may have to push it back up. So these are those additional questions. If there are some that you don't want, you can delete. Another way to add a question, oh. Okay, I just drew a blank on how to get a question.
To add a new question, Debbie?
Well, I know how to add a new question, but to only add a question out of a block.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I can't help with that.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go here. So if I go to the clean water survey here, I can click on just the question that I want to add.
Good.
Or select several if you need to do that, and then you can insert the question.
Okay.
So anyway, it's super easy to use once you've been in there and just played around with it for a little bit. I know we don't have time today. I'm going to quit sharing my screen.
So I think what we want to do is have a session specifically for this, and we will record it. And, if you can attend, please do, and we can do a Q&A session, and then it will also be recorded and put up on the YouTube page for us so we can refer back to it. So the question
Right.
about instructions for the survey stuff, we'll probably not instructions, but we'll have that video. We'll have a training specifically for this.
Yeah, and their help menu, their help page is really good. You click on the little help icon up in the corner, type in what you're looking for, and there's a lot of information in there. Also, if you want to email me with or Jennifer with any questions that you have, we will be able to address those when we present it. So
Thank you, Debbie.
okay, I took 8 minutes, sorry.
Perfect. Okay, anything else for the good of the group? All right, we will see you in July. Most of you anyway, a couple of you can't make it. We will miss you, but we'll see you in July in Ellensburg. Take care all. Bye-bye.